Will Chief Minister Eknath Shinde become Chief Minister for a second term? Ever since Shinde split the Shiv Sena and became the CM of Maharashtra in June 2022, the one question that has followed him is, will Shinde survive? Well, he did survive as Chief Minister for 2 years and 4 months, and he survived the floor test in 17th February 2023, and the ECI even gave him the name of the Shiv Sena and the party symbol of the bow and arrow. And since then, the two Sena factions, the Shiv Sena Shinde and the Uddhav Bal Thackeray led Sena, have faced off in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But it's the state elections that is turning out to be the battle to claim Shiv Sena founder Bal Thackeray's legacy. And who is the real inheritor of that legacy is the question that both Uddhav and Shinde are trying to answer. And this November, these state elections are going to settle this once and for all. Who heads the real Shiv Sena? Can Eknath Shinde win these elections for himself and his party? Joining me to discuss this are Rennie Abraham, senior journalist Mumbai, Kiran Thackeray, also a senior journalist and ex-colleague, Jayant Mayankar, political analyst from Mumbai, and in the studio I have with me my colleague Brijesh Pandey. Gentlemen, welcome to the News9 Plus show. Brijesh, how badly does Eknath Shinde need a win in Maharashtra on the 20th of November?
Well, if he wants to become the chief minister, again, he has to win the state. Because, if you look at his trajectory, when he became the chief minister, and if you look at the video footage of that time, any question which was put to him was answered by Devendra Fadnavis. At least 80-85% of the questions.
2.5 years back.
2.5 years back. And, it looked like that, it gave the air to the perception that he is just a titular head, but the real reign of the government will lie in the hand of Devendra Fadnavis.
And today, 2.5 years later, now, you don't see Fadnavis.
He is whether they have announced him or not, he is the biggest leader as far as Mahayuti is concerned. And if you see how one comes to his own grip and the way he becomes the chief minister, settled in his own chair. Right now, he dwarfs almost any big BJP leader by anything, and he is the one who has cemented his position as the chief minister of Maharashtra. And if Mahayuti comes, I'll be very, very surprised. Very, very surprised to see that they will elect anybody other than Eknath Shinde to.
Absolutely. And if that actually happens on the 23rd of November, Brijesh, when the results are out, we are going to have another conversation based on what you just said today. But Kiran Thackeray, who joins us from Mumbai, has been a long-term proponent of Shinde's survival strategies. In fact, when he was with News9 Plus, he had brought out the Shinde's survival sutras. So, Kiran, tell us what the sutras Eknath Shinde put into play in the last 2.5 years, that, as Brajesh was just telling us earlier, it appeared that it was Fadnavis who was looming in the backdrop and it was Shinde in the front, very unsure, unconfident and not very articulate. He's not a very articulate speaker. And today it is Shinde everywhere. It's Shinde with the Ladki Bahin scheme, it's Shinde with the people, the women, all of those things. How did this turnaround really happen in Maharashtra politics, Kiran?
There is no doubt that Shinde has consolidated his position. There is no absolutely doubt about it. But as far as the political moves and political counter moves are concerned, it is still the BJP who is taking the shots. If we look at the number of candidates and the names of the candidates announced by Shinde's party, that is Shiv Sena, there are at least 6 candidates which have been imported from the BJP. So what BJP has done, BJP had pushed these candidates to Shiv Sena and literally forced Eknath Shinde to give them a ticket for the elections. There are 6 candidates. And remember Nilesh Rane, the hardcore BJP, Shaina NC. Nobody could have imagined that Shaina NC would join Shiv Sena one day and she will be a candidate from Shiv Sena. So this is the BJP strategy. BJP is saying that Shinde is our leader, Shinde is our face, but we are going to take the decision. That is the strategy. What Shinde has done and what has worked in his favor, that absolutely that Shinde is a grounds person, his ground connect is absolutely amazing. Plus, his caste, that is a Maratha, is working in his favor, and the BJP is lacking just because BJP doesn't have any taller Maratha leader in the state. And that is where Shinde has made a space for himself.
Absolutely. The Shinde has, Yeah, absolutely right, Kiran. The fact that BJP could well be playing Big Brother, but Shinde has capitalized on the fact that there is a vacuum in the BJP when the fact that it doesn't have a strong Maratha leader. And Reni, this is one space that Shinde has literally captured, as Brijesh was just telling us, that he's really come into his own as a chief minister. Person seemed very unlikely to fit this role, as he was saying that in the beginning it was always Devendra Fadnavis and today it is Shinde everywhere, even though the fact that as Kiran points out, the BJP could well be calling the shots from behind the scenes. But tell us about this election. What are you seeing about Eknath Shinde in the last couple of days that tells you that possibly he is going to be chief minister for another term if the BJP Sena combined comes back to power, the Maha Vikas Aghadi? Reni. I think we've lost Reni there. Jayant, quick question to you on the fact that how Eknath Shinde has been playing his cards in the last couple of days as the elections were called. You see Eknath Shinde everywhere. All of a sudden, he's there campaigning, he's with the people, he's with his constituents. He's come into his own really as a politician. What are his chances of becoming chief minister if the Mahayuti Sarkar comes back to power end of this month?
So only if Narendra and Devendra, they want, then Mr. Eknath Shinde will continue as a chief minister.
Right.
Otherwise, there are no chances of the person
right.
who in a way got a lottery. Sometimes
yes.
during the Congress time also, like Baba Sahib Bhosle had a lottery of
yes.
becoming the chief minister of Maharashtra.
Right.
So this lottery that Eknath Shinde has got,
right.
it will continue on the wheel of Narendra and Devendra combined.
Right.
And why this lottery he got for even 2.5 years?
Right.
That is because he was the man who revolted against Shiva Sena. He was ready to come out.
Yes.
And for that, it was a deal that he should be given the chief ministership,
right.
which he got. Otherwise, by any chance, as it was said by you even in the beginning also,
yes.
and always it was felt that Devendra is answering the questions. 80 to 85% of the answers were in a way dictated by Devendra Fadnavis.
Yes.
So by any chance, he does not look as a chief minister. Well, if you are referring to Ladli Bahina or
yes.
in Ladki Bahin and
yes.
raising the toll, in a way giving a reprieve for all the non-Mumbaikars but staying in Mumbai vicinity like me,
yes.
as I stay in Navi Mumbai. The fact that these two decisions have gained a popularity for him, there is
yes.
no doubt. But let us accept that even Ladki Bahin is the brainchild from Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
Right, absolutely.
And it is just, that is a fact. Then the question about the toll. The toll in Mumbai, there are 5 tolls, and long back it is a demand. And on the eve of election, this particular thing has been done.
Yes, absolutely.
And not with the
Jayant, I'm just going to ask Reni this question about the Ladki Bahin scheme. Can the Ladki Bahin do for Eknath Shinde what it did for Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh last December, Reni?
Well, Sandeep, I should be particularly saying here that all these populist schemes, in fact, back in 2022, I had written an article about how the newly inducted Chief Minister Eknath Shinde would be going on to launch close to 500 populist schemes before they would have to face the state assemblies that we are now right up before. Having said that, how much impact does a populist scheme have, particularly the Ladki Bahina scheme or the free toll announcement that has been made in the immediate run-up to the elections? I don't think populist schemes really work that much. I mean, right. As we have seen in the Lok Sabha elections, where the Ladki Bahin scheme was not there, but even that was preceded by so many populist schemes by the Eknath Shinde government in Maharashtra. However, we saw the results. But it is true, the simple thing that we need to understand here is the mathematics of the state assemblies. So the BJP is officially designated 148 candidates on its party symbol to contest the polls.
Right.
Another 4 of their smaller alliance partners are also being fielded. That brings up to 152. In addition to this, they have fielded, I am told, 9 candidates of the BJP through the Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena party, and another 5 candidates who are being fielded through the NCP party that is headed by Ajit Pawar. So that effectively, unofficially brings up their their tally to 168, 66. Right. So at the end of the day, they are contesting 166. Yes. Eknath Shinde was given 84 odd, but he is fielding 9 of the BJP. At the end of the day, it's going to be the numbers that will decide who is the face of the
Absolutely.
winning,
it's a numbers game indeed. But Brajesh, you know, Reni doesn't seem to believe that schemes work. But the Ladki Bahin scheme, from what we hear, has had a lot of play on the ground. There's a groundswell of positive, opinions for the scheme. You think it will work, or is it too close to the elections to call?
Before I answer your question, I'll just need 1 minute of indulgence, because I slightly disagree with what Jayant was saying.
Right.
And one thing which we are missing in the discussion is that, when Jayant says that he got the lottery, he didn't get the lottery.
Right.
He engineered the biggest defection the Shiv Sena had.
Yes, absolutely.
And barring Uddhav and Aditya,
yes.
Metaphorically, barring Uddhav and Aditya, he got almost the entire party into the other side.
Yes.
The second biggest thing which cemented Eknath Shinde as the big leader, as a very tall leader, was the 2024 general election.
Yes.
His conversion rate was far more bigger
than
and
the BJP.
very emphatic than what the BJP did.
Right.
The BJP was the elder brother then, the BJP will be elder brother today, and they'll be elder brother tomorrow. But the performance of the underdog was, he not only punched way above his weight, but he delivered the knockout. So they got the same number of seats, with BJP fighting on far more bigger number of seats in Lok Sabha. And it was massive embarrassment for the BJP.
Right.
The Narendra Devendra thing worked before the general election.
Yes.
But Devendra, the brand Devendra got a very nasty blow on the face, during the 2024 general election. And I think after, if you analyze his ascension to power and his comfort in the position of the chief minister, from May till right now, as we are discussing this particular program, it has been up and above. And the brand Devendra has taken a very serious hit.
So it's all the Lok Sabha election. That turning point was the Lok Sabha elections, where actually we were predicting that it could actually mean the extinction of the Shinde Sena even. But he's actually delivered on 7 seats, or was it 9 seats?
9 seats. And his conversion was out of 15. His conversion was far better and far bigger than the Bharatiya Janata Party, who also delivered the same number of seats.
Absolutely. And that is when he rolled out the Ladki Bahin scheme. And you were saying that you believe that the scheme has the potential to bring him back to power, or is it too
what it will do is,
too late?
I wouldn't call that the scheme will be the game changer in the sense that it will get BJP the entire gig. But what it will do definitely is that it can bridge the gap of negativity. Like, 3 months back, we were thinking that, Mahayuti is a gone case. But right now, nobody is saying that Mahayuti is a gone case. And one of the big credit which goes for this is, apart from 50 other things, that the role which is being played by Ladli Bahina scheme. It is absolutely all right that you say that, it is borrowed from Maharashtra and so on and so forth.
Doesn't matter.
But the BJP did not implement Ladli Bahina scheme in many other places where, the BJP is facing rough weather. So it was, and the other thing we clearly made that, Narendra, yes, but not Devendra. When the posters, all the posters of Ladli Bahina and most of these big government schemes had posters of Eknath Shinde and not of Devendra Fadnavis. So it made it very, very clear as to where he stands vis-a-vis the equation with the BJP.
Kiran, how do you see the Ladki Bahin scheme playing out on the ground? You're closest to the ground. Tell us how it's actually helped the Devendra, or in this case, Eknath Shinde government to, turn back a lot of the negativism that his government is literally in the line of fire, and it seemed that Uddhav Thackeray had a lot of the public sympathy, but now it doesn't seem to be the case. I think especially, Brajesh, after the Haryana election, there seems to be a sea change. But Kiran, tell us, Ladki Bahin, will that work for Eknath Shinde?
I will take the viewers just 4 months back after the Lok Sabha elections. So there was a gap of just 1.5% between the vote share of MBA and the Mahayuti. Mahayuti was behind by just 1.5%. What this Ladki Bahin has done, they have bridged that gap. Now there is no gap. In fact, the reports are coming that the Ladki Bahin scheme has been a super hit in the rural areas, where the 4 installments has been deposited in the bank accounts, and it comes to 6,000 rupees. And 6,000 rupees in a bulk is a big amount in rural areas, and this 1.5% gap has been bridged, I think Mahayuti is going to gain a lot in the rural areas. The factors which are going to affect this election is the choice of the candidates, the selection of the candidates, whether the voters are really accepting the candidates or not, that will be one issue. And the another factor which will be in the Marathwada region will be Manoj Jarangi Patil. If Manoj Jarangi Patil announces his support to several candidates, then there will be another polarization. In urban areas and in rural areas, there is a clear-cut division. Maharashtra, as everybody knows, that Maharashtra is 55% urban, but 45% still is rural.
Yes.
This rural area is going to be in favor of the Mahayuti because of Ladli Bahin, because that has that much potential. That thing is very clear. So Ladki Bahin is definitely working in their favor, but again, it depends upon how the candidate is going to take this scheme and the benefits of the scheme to the voters, whether the candidate is appealing or not. That is much more depending for this time.
Yes.
If the voters are going to accept the candidate, they are willing to accept the party. But if the candidate is accepted, then the win is certain. But if the candidate makes a mistake, or if there is some kind of unrest about the candidate, then there could be a different result.
Absolutely. It comes with caveats, Kiran. Yes. So, the thing with this scheme is, Brijesh, the fact that it's costing the state exchequer a lot of money. 40,000 crore is what Ladki Bahin is going to cost Maharashtra. And there's talk of even doubling that from 1,500 rupees to 3,000 rupees a month. And you see that happening if, the government comes back, if the Mahayuti comes back to power. Will Eknath Shinde then be tempted to break the bank and increase the Ladki Bahin scheme?
Well, Sandeep, the paradox that is Indian politics,
Yes.
it all depends on which side of the fence you are.
Right.
When you are the ruling party and when an opposition announces this kind of scheme,
Yes.
it becomes freebie.
Right.
And, when you are the one who's launching the same, and the opposition is wrecking the entire economy of the country and everything that is bad can be associated.
Yes.
But if it works for you, then
Yes.
immediately you launch it as a welfare scheme.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I think, the government of the day has to make up its mind
Yes.
as to how does it want to proceed.
Right.
If you really want to, follow the template which has been set by the opposition parties, then you cannot blame them for you cannot blame Arvind Kejriwal for free electricity.
Right.
If you are, doing the same, giving the similar freebies in the state of Maharashtra.
Absolutely.
It's an economically ruinous situation.
Yes.
and a macro picture which we are staring at. It's nothing but an economic disaster.
Right.
But as you say, if you are getting votes,
Yes.
you're getting votes to get in power. I think nobody is concerned about it.
Nothing succeeds like
political success.
Political success, Brijesh, and that seems to be Eknath Shinde's mantra as well as he heads into this election that will decide not just his political future but his survival and possibly a second term as Chief Minister. But thank you very much, Jayant Mankar, Brijesh Pandey, Kiran Thackeray and Reni Abraham for joining us this evening on the 9 p.m. show.